Hey friends, welcome to RaysaOver30, where we show up even when life is messy. Today we're going to be talking about our July planning. We are going to be looking at the quarter, at our goals, habits, vision, our month, and our week view. So let's get started. I know that what I want to be focusing on is sort of refreshing myself. I'm going to treat July as the new January. I am going to use this as a new start of the year. I have been getting into that whole 12-week year thing and I'm kind of liking it. I just don't know how to apply it always, but I'm working on it. Work in progress. So, July will be my new January. This is quarter three of the year. I want to start off with the quarter goals again softly because doing this stuff just really stresses me out. So I try to just take a light approach. So let's go there now, shall we? For the quarterly view, as you can see, my page is not perfect. I've just been trying things out and seeing what sticks and what doesn't. So for July, I know that there are things that have worked in the last 6 months that I kind of want to bring into this quarter, July to September. And with that in mind, I know that one thing I want to do is reset and rebuild. I want to allow more grace for myself. And I also want to nourish my body, soul, my spirit, give myself more purpose, live more intentionally. And I do want to practice more consistency over perfection. I get hung up on the perfectionistic little details, and that tends to slow my progress. It would have been fine just the way it was, let's say, or I can just finish the project and iron out those details later. And when I say a project, it's nothing fancy, okay? My life is just a working project itself. All right. So I know that those are my top three things: reset, rebuild my routines. I want to nourish my body, live with purpose, nourish my spirit, and I want to practice consistency over perfectionism. I also want to add some stickers in here. I think that would be nice. So we'll do a little star sticker here, do a little leaf growth. I love that little leaf growth plant thing, my favorite. And a little butterfly for my consistency over perfection, right? That's me growing. I'm growing. All right. And let's add some highlights. This page is looking kind of dull. All right. So a little highlight. Again, I'm not huge on decorating, so any little bit I can do, it's great, you know, for me. Yeah, look at that. Look at me decorating, looking nice. It's the little things. As far as my goals go, I just want to focus on the two big things. The two big things for me are to improve my physical and mental wellness. We will talk more about that in the video. I too have struggled through addiction, still do, right? So, I mean, who doesn't love food? You know. I also want to grow more confident in my counseling skills. So I'd like to review my lectures, pick one thing to reflect on, and be able to write about it. That way, it might be more accessible, more readily available in my brain for me to be able to use in everyday interactions with people. So, three things to do. First thing, I want to stay ahead of my homework. I am going to plan out my assignments. The second thing, I'm going to rebuild my workout and rest routines. That includes the gym, also my journaling at night. And we will talk more about why I do those things later. I also want to reward myself bi-weekly, probably on my paydays, with a fun drink. You know, go to Panera, Starbucks, make myself feel luxurious by just having a fun drink one day every couple of weeks. But it's just a little something to give myself some grace and rest and some latitude. All right, now let's head over to our goals and habits and let's see what we can iron out of our quarterly vision, right? So, as far as my habits, I know that I want to use the color key. And the first thing, the biggest thing for me is body. right? I want to lose more weight. I want to feel healthier. That's my goal. So I am going to use maybe a green for body. And let's see, put that as fitness. And fitness for me is going to be two things. I have strength or cardio that I do 6 days a week. The seventh day, I don't do anything. It's Sabbath. But so each day should have a dot on it theoretically. I should be doing either strength or cardio each day, except for my last day of the week, which is Sunday for me. My week starts on Monday. All right, so body, we're going to do fitness, strength, and cardio. And then the next thing I want to focus on would be my mind, mental wellness. I really want to get more into journaling. Journaling has helped me a lot. It has helped me get through my sobriety. All right, I've had addictions. I still struggle with food. And I already gave up alcohol, thank God, by the grace of God. And sticking to these routines, I have given up alcohol, among other things. So I know that I want to use that. I want to journal. I want to be able to take my thoughts and put them out on paper, and I want to do that more regularly. So journaling will be one of my goals. With journaling, I do a lucky journal every night. It's just three simple things. First is putting down three things that I'm grateful for. It can be short, bullet points. Then acknowledging what is the best thing that has happened in the last 24 hours. And the last question, what is one negative thing that used to happen but no longer happens? That's something that I got from a psychology expert. I forget his name, but I can do a video on that later if anybody's interested. Just leave a comment below and I'll be sure to get on that. All right. So aside from mind, I also want to make sure that my spirit is a goal that I am nourishing. I would like to read my Bible daily. If I don't read a chapter, I'm reading a verse. Even my professor, who is not really Christian at school, my professor, Dr. G, shout out to Dr. G, she said that even the Bible is a great piece of psychological work. It does help. So I do want to continue reading my Bible. And that's going to be daily. And then growth. So, growth will be another area. I want to do more growth reading. I read self help books, fiction, but I also read my textbooks at school and other educational components that go to that. I would like to, on my own time, invest more time in reading books that will grow me in my profession. So being more intentional about what I'm reading and what I'm getting out of it too. So growth reading. And I think for growth reading, I want to do that for at least 15 minutes, 3 times a week, if not more. Let's see. Last thing would be my rest routine. For the rest routine, this really does help me stay sober. Um, I light up an incense. I love it. Just a nice calming smell, right? Incense. And then I put on a video on YouTube or something where it's rain and music, maybe a piano, but something soft, getting myself prepared, unwinding for the evening. So that's my rest routine. And with that, I'll read my Bible. If not the chapter, then a verse at least. I got to crack that thing open. I also journal. I'll do that lucky journal at night if I don't journal more. If I journal more, great. Otherwise, at least the bare minimum, doing that lucky journal, which I like to call thankful thoughts instead of lucky journal. So you may have seen that in my video, the page, but I call it thankful thoughts. And that's my journaling. So that's also part of my rest routine. So some of these habits are being stacked. If you've heard of atomic habits, stacking your habits. So my rest routine is really that part of lighting the incense, putting on the video, really making it a self-care moment for myself. And in that, I will do my Bible reading, I'll do my journaling, and that'll take care of 3 habits right there. Then the last space, for some reason on the color key, there's only room for 5, but there is a 6th spot or calendar tracking. So there I'm just going to put Sabbath because every Sunday we practice our Sabbath here, me and my husband. We will watch sermons together. We'll do devotional. We do devotional every morning, quickly, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But Sundays, we make it more intentional to talk. We have a family meeting. There's only two of us, but still. So, a family meeting where we just talk about any hangups we had from the previous week and try to connect on those. So, as far as my goals, I know that I want to have one goal be related to my health and wellness, um, my health and wellness reset. With health and wellness, I really do want to lose about 5 to 7 pounds this month. With cardio, hopefully that'll make it a little easier. We'll see. And with proper eating habits. And if I lose only 3 pounds, that's great too. Okay? 3 pounds, I'll take it. But at least I'm setting a goal, setting a goal. And my why for that is because I want to feel strong and empowered in my body and regain momentum in my health journey. I deserve this. So, as you know, 3 times a week I do strength training with my husband at the gym. The other 3 times a week I will be doing cardio. Those are two action steps right there. So, with that being said, I will be eating fewer processed food, fewer snacking, being more intentional with what I'm eating and when. The fourth action step is that I want to journal my wins, my challenges, thoughts about my health at least one time a week. I want to journal my feelings at least once a week, getting the thoughts out of my mind and onto paper. Jordan Peterson says the reason we should write is to let our thoughts die. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of negative thoughts that come up in my mind. And he's right about that. When I write and I'm able to get those thoughts out of my mind and onto paper, I tend to think of them less. It does help, and it just sucks that I don't apply that as often as I should. I should know better, and I should see, there I go again, telling myself that I could be better. See, that's why I need to journal more, get those thoughts out, and really analyze them. And if you're curious, what I do is that in my journaling, I will ask myself, why do I feel that way? What happened to make me feel that way? What did I do as a result of that feeling? What should I be doing differently next time? I really try to answer those questions in my writing. I use it as if it's another person that I'm bouncing ideas off of. And then burn the page, throw it out, empty the trash. Don't forget to do that. I will honor my rest routine at least 3 times a week, but really nightly. I should do that every night, where I light up an incense. I put on a video of thunder, rain, and soft music, piano. With that on, I will smell the lovely incense. I like lavender. And I will crack open my Bible. If I don't read a chapter, I'm reading a verse. From there, I will journal. I usually do my thankful thoughts, otherwise known as the lucky journal. But in the thankful thoughts, I just write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. The best thing that has happened in the last 24 hours, one thing. And also one negative thing that used to happen that no longer happens. And that's it. Something quick, bullet points, or you can write more detail if you like. But the idea is that it should be quick and simple, easy for you to do. And that's what I do to help me stay sane. particularly because I have trouble sleeping sometimes in my sobriety without having the crutch of alcohol or anything else or food. I wonder what my reward should be for that. I'm not sure. If you guys have any ideas for rewards that are very low cost because I'm on a budget, but if you have any ideas, let me know. I would love to find ways to reward myself. Maybe even have a no do nothing day aside from Sunday. That's a treat. Let me write that down. I wrote on there do nothing day, not a Sunday in parentheses. Do you boo boo? Yeah, talking to myself. Why not? Be fun. Smile a little. For my goal to grow confident in counseling and have mental growth, mental health myself, my why is that I want to show up ready to help others clearly, compassionately, and skillfully. I want to actively learn. So, as far as my action steps, I know that there are a few things I know I want to do. I know I want to review a past lecture, write a summary about it so that I can hopefully retain that information better to use in day to day encounters. People do come and ask to talk to me, and I want to be prepared to help. And sometimes I just get nervous in the moment. So, being able to reflect by writing, I think would help me out a lot. My growth reading will be reading one of the books that pertain more to counseling and psychology and growing my skills as my authentic self in therapy. And I will be doing that about 3 times a week, 15 minutes minimum. I will also journal weekly, at least 3 times a week, an insight or an application. I really want to get these thoughts out of my mind and make that a regular habit and putting it on paper so that I can talk to myself about them. And what I do with that, if you're curious, is I do what Jordan B. Peterson says to do. You write so that your thoughts can die. I have a lot of negative thoughts and I want to get them out of my mind. And writing does help me do that. I will get those thoughts out. Nobody has to read it. Sometimes I just throw the pages away after, move it to the trash, and empty the trash right after. Um, let's see here. Another action step would be to choose one concept that I'm learning per week and practice explaining it to myself or in a journal entry or to someone else. And I also want to write and save more of my favorite quotes, any inspirational ideas. I want to be more proactive about revisiting those. I have little affirmations too. I want to revisit those more often and just tell myself good things instead of all the bad that's already in there. All right. The other thing I like to do is that it has a progress bar on my page. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in an image and fix it up so that it fits in there. So let's take a look. But we are done with the goals page. Woo woo. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Next from our goals, we have our habits down. Let's go over to our monthly view and then our week view, and we'll be wrapping this show up, right? So let's go. All right, so now we are going to be setting up our month. I have a list of the bills and dates that I have to remember for this month. I'm going to go ahead and start writing those in. So I have homework assignments that are going to be due, so I want to put that on here as well and just have those dates in front of me so I know when I'm looking back on my month what I have to look forward to, positive or negative. There are lab assignments that I have to do every week. I have to do science assignments and labs. I have those two things going on. So for the regular science class, there are certain assignments. For the lab class, I have labs to complete. I'm going to put those together because those happen every week. I know that. So I'm going to just group those stickers together, and that way I can put them, just set them on the days that I know I'm going to complete them by. I want to decorate it a little bit though. Again, I'm not huge on decorating, so I will be doing the simplest things possible. But let's start off with an image. I think that's good. I like that image. Made it a little more transparent or less opaque. And I'm going to move that over to my locked layer now. I want to make sure that it doesn't move and that I don't touch it accidentally. Best feature about Noteful. All right, so we have our month set up with our general dates and things to look forward to. Can't wait for the end of the semester. Aside from that, let's go ahead and jump into our weekly view and get an idea of how we're going to structure our week. So in the weekly view, I know it says June, but it's because the first day of the week, which is Monday for me on my calendar, is the 30th. So that's why it shows June, but it is the first week of July as well. I do want to spruce it up a little bit. Maybe put in some components I've used before. Let's see what you think about it. Let me know what you do. Okay, so I put in those little decorative parts of my weekly view. And once I set this up, I'm going to be copying it over for the rest of the weeks of the month because I'm not down for redecorating every week. This is just something I do once a month to kind of refresh my layout. So we have now finished decorating our weekly view, and that took a bit longer than I wanted, but at least I know I'm not doing this again for another month. And that's if I even do it next month. I really want to just move this over week to week so I don't have to keep doing it. Every month, I do kind of like to have a fresh layout, and taking some time out to do this is semi therapeutic for me too. It's kind of like a purposeful nothingness, you know? So, now I do want to outline what the week will look like generally with the things that I know are going to carry over week to week and to put in those miscellaneous items also. Let's get to it. Okay, so I went ahead and added some things that I know on my weekly view I want to see for this week. And I can fill in the rest later as I think about it and go. But I moved over now from my editable layer to my locked layer, and I locked the editable layer because what I want to do is take what I have moved into the locked layer and bring it over to the following weeks. So we'll do that now. All right. All right. And with that done, I've moved back over to my editable layer. I made sure that my locked layer is indeed locked because I have a habit of touching moving things on accident. So that's why I really try to make sure I'm in the right layer. I love layers in Noteful. It has been a game changer for me. I am a lefty, so I can go over what I'm writing since I'm writing from left to right or left to right. But it really helps to not have my palm touch things that I don't want to have touched or moved, which I could not do in GoodNotes. So go Noteful. Let's go ahead and jump over to our vision real quick. And I say real quick because I'm not huge on vision, so I do want to put something. I don't do well with drawing, posters, all that stuff. I'd rather just find quotes. And I had Chat GPT. I gave it some quotes I liked, and Chat GPT made a an image for me that I can paste into my vision, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So let's take a look. Guys, think about this. I put in the quotes or phrases, things that I found that I like into ChatGPT, and I asked it if it could make me a sort of vision board with that information. And this is what it made for me. I thought it was really cool. So for July, I have peaceful, strength, rhythm, reset, which is a big thing for me, using it as my January and resetting, refueling. I put on here quotes that I found. So from Nelson Mandela, I never lose, I either win or learn. I love that. And competence builds confidence. That's what it was. I forgot it earlier. Competence builds confidence. You are becoming who you needed. Pastor Daryl Black, my pastor at church, Grace Family Church, he said that. I love his little quotes and life lessons that he learned from his family, his parents. Let's see. You are becoming who you needed. That's on there twice. That's okay. It was by Michael J. Fox. That's not from Michael J. Fox, so that's wrong. But anyway, it got close enough, ChatGPT. I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying. Michael Jordan. It's never too late to be who you might have been. George Eliot. Consistency over perfection. Write hard and clear about what hurts. Hemingway. Better to start somewhere than nowhere at all. And becoming her. Don't know who her is yet, but I'm becoming. That's important. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to do this with me. It's so much better that we're together and not alone in this. And shout out to everyone who is just trying to make it through the week, man. Not trying to chase millions. We're really just trying to make it through the week. So, with that said, take what you need, leave what you don't, and remember, you're not alone.